Welcome to round 6 of the V8 Supercars Online series presented by Big Pond, Direct Clutch Services and Extreme Sim Gear. The teams and drivers head to Oulton Park for round 6 of the championship, a track that some loved last season and some really disliked, and this season we have 2 chicanes instead of just a long back straight, so that's another thing that'll spice it up for the drivers. Alright, let's have a look at the track itself. As you can see here, this is turn 1 of Oulton Park. Very tough corner in all kinds of racing. The corner itself you need to turn in very early for, and be careful not to run wide on exit. Lap 1 of the race is always interesting here. You've just got to try and not make contact with other cars around you. It does tighten up at the apex quite a lot, so just be careful of the contact on lap 1 there. Definitely a good passing opportunity for the race itself as well, with the run off the final corner onto that main straight. So with that run off turn 1, we now head down to turn 2 and turn 3. This curb on the inside of turn 2 is a curb that definitely unsettles the car a lot. I wouldn't be touching it under brakes there, that's for sure. Down into turn 3, you could send it down the inside, but last season we did see a fair bit of contact down there as a result of that move being made. Just be careful through the mid corner here that you don't run too wide. The car will want to drift out that way, so just got to try and hold it there on the curb. Then I'm short shifting to 4th anyway on my setup, and then you trying to use all the road on exit and get the good drive onto the straight that you need. Down into turn 4 and the turn 5 hairpin. This is always a very hard part of the track to get right. You need to take turn 4 kink as quick as you possibly can, and then get it straight for the braking zone, putting equal load onto the front tyres, ensuring you don't lock the front right under brakes here. If you lock the front right, you're going to find it really hard to stop for that hairpin, so it's crucial that you get the braking right into this hairpin. Hold it on the curb on the inside the whole way around with a small throttle percentage, just to get the car's nose turned in there. On exit, second gear, just feed the power on very gently as it comes off the berm, then pull 3rd, 4th up towards the next chicane. It's crucial you get good drive out of here. Wheel spin will really punish you. It's probably not really a passing opportunity, the hairpin, due to the quick 4th, 5th gear turn 4 just before it. The cars use a lot of road under braking, making it almost impossible to go through there too wide. So the hairpin, although it may seem on paper to be a good passing opportunity, it's not really going to be a great place in the end. So as you come off the turn 5 hairpin and head down to the chicane, again just straighten the braking zone out as much as you possibly can and arrow it straight through the first of the left. Get it stopped for the right and get a straight run up the hill onto the next straight. Again, brake in a straight line, don't try and turn while braking. Feed the power on very smoothly, putting equal load on the rear tyres. It's very important. Straight entries and straight exits on the new tyre model is the way to go. Just make sure you really think about that, particularly through this corner. If you do lock a brake here, you'll basically be off the road every time. Try to avoid the tyre bundles. You can hit them and get away with it, but you may risk damaging the car, and is it really worth taking the risk sometimes in this championship? I wouldn't say it's a passing opportunity. Two cars through here is trouble. If anyone hits one of those tyre bundles head on, which is likely to happen if a passing move is pulled on, it's not going to be pretty for that driver. So as we head up over the crest off that chicane, limit the wheel spin up here as much as you can. That'll both save lap time and tyre wear later in the race. Straight entry down into this chicane down here. Brake basically where the rubber starts on the road. That's always a pretty good guide. Don't try and turn and brake into the apex. It's a very tempting thing to do, to trail brake in, but from what I've driven so far, it's very easy to lock the front right, and then you buggy your run off the exit of the chicane, which is probably just as important as the entry. Again, tyre bundles are a bit of a risk. You can hit them and get away with it, but again, you know, they can bend your steering and buggy your car up. Just try and hold the apexes as much as you can. Don't use all the road through the left into the right at the end there. Just sit in the middle of the track so you can get back to the left to get a good run through the right hander up the hill. It's vital that you get good mid-corner speed up there, because that'll help your straight line speed up to the Advan Bridge. It's a very complex section of the track. Definitely a good passing opportunity down into the chicane number 2. However, the car that's getting passed will probably want to hang on the outside there, and 2 wide through the second phase of that chicane could be very, very interesting. So just keep that in mind if you're going for a passing attempt. So as you come off the right-hander up towards the Advan Bridge, the car's going to get very, very light under that bridge and possibly spit you off the road if you're not careful. So a bit of throttle modulation up there might be necessary. Stay to the right for this left-hand kink. Use a bit of curb through there. Down change to 4th gear. And make sure you brake it in a straight line again. And again, it's just one of those places where it's very, very easy to lock the front right. And if you lock the front right, you're going to miss the apex at the double right-hander here. So just make sure you get it back to both the curbs. That's critical. Don't use all the road through the mid-corner. Just keep it to the middle. Throttle modulation off here is going to be crucial as well. It rises on exit, then falls away. So the car's going to want to jump into wheel spin here. If it does, you're going to lose a lot of time. This, again, not really a passing opportunity. It's single file corners. However, under the Carloop Bridge, if you get a good run off here, it's a very real opportunity that you could get a move done into the final corner. That corner is probably the best passing opportunity on the track. We saw a lot of moves get pulled off there last season and done cleanly. So that's probably your best bet for passing on what is basically a very, very skinny track. Here I'm not using quite all the road on exit. I'm just straightening the car off on exit as much as I can and putting equal load on the rear tyres like I've spoken about before, and going straight over the crest. So not using too much steering lock across there. You want to straighten that out as much as you possibly can. That's to avoid the car cracking sideways. Again, I've seen a lot of people lose it here in practice so far over that crest, and as silly as it seems losing the car in a straight line, the car does have tendencies to snap oversteer over crests like this particular crest. So that's a lap at Oulton Park. So now that we've looked at the theory side of it, let's go and do a lap. Have another crack at it, see if we can improve on some mistakes. Again, use all the road but not too much. Change to 4th, just modulate the power there again. Sit. Don't quite use all the road through there, so you can get the good run into the hairpin that you need. If you use all the road at the kink, you'll struggle at the hairpin. Just lost the rear a little bit there, cost me about a tenth and a half, sorry. It's a good demonstration of what getting wheel spin will do to your lap time. It'll absolutely murder it.
Got about 2 laps left on.
Sideways there. Straight over the crest, snap sideways on me there a little bit. Just be aware of it. If you know that's going to happen, you should be able to prevent it.
Got one on your right.
Out of my way there.
Clear on the right.
Courtesy, good to see. Snagged the brakes a little bit when I first hit the brakes there. I struggled to make the apex. Half got it there. Straight exit up onto the main straight, bit of wheel spin over the crest. That was a little bit better, that was a 37.8. So it's a fairly decent lap time, but as you can see there's still a few mistakes there.
Got one on your right.
That we can improve.
All clear, all clear.
Right, there's a lap of Oulton Park. Hope you enjoyed it and possibly learned something from this particular track guide. See you on Monday night.